We're a lot.
How long have y'all known each other?
We're best friends.
Since we were 6.
No way! The one thing that I find fascinating is when opposite sex have like these awesome connections that are not sexual.
It can exist, right?
We live in this world that says that cannot exist.
I don't agree with that at all. Are you okay with your wife having a male friend?
That's where it's.
I went to see a cancer doctor and they're like, you have to come back. Oh shit, I think I have cancer. I just feel like I'm deteriorating. I just don't know what it is. It was my mind.
People also like manifest someone, and there's tidbits, parts of that relationship in that person that you're attracted to. You feel like, oh, I'm gonna fall in love with potential. But in reality, it was destroying her.
The new one is the one you manifested.
No,
the old one.
We didn't manifest this one.
We didn't manifest this one.
God gave
sent
him.
me.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's go! Water holds the strongest vibrational frequency. I talk to my water every morning. I invite more peace into my life.
I invite more peace into my life.
And prosperity and abundance.
Prosperity and abundance.
Amen.
Amen. I'm Manning Sumner. I've lived my life by one motto: no days off. No days off is never taking a day off on you. It's a commitment to becoming your best self. Get ready to be inspired to do the same. This is the Big Dawgs with Manning Sumner. Ladies, it's the Big Dawgs.
It's the big,
I could
the
make
big
a joke, but I won't.
dogs.
You
The
can.
Big dog with the bitches.
The bitches. We're the you don't have to be scared with us. We're not afraid of that shit. We own that shit. We
bitches.
Those bitches.
I literally was like, it's the bitches.
It's the bitches. No, when he sees us walking up, he's like, he knows.
My
I knew
bitches
this
are
was gonna
here.
be wild.
But you know what? Let me tell you something. I think we were talking about doing a round table talk situation for so long, and I'm like, sometimes you don't need more. We're a lot.
Yeah, we're allowed.
Yeah.
So sometimes, less is more.
Did y'all have an idea of if you would have brought a third party?
Not for
Y'all even
us.
talk
Not for
about it?
us, no.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be room for the other person, honestly.
Yeah.
It would just be,
It's
a
true.
lot.
It's
Yes. It would just.
dominating.
Thank
Yeah,
you for
that's
coming
it.
and holding space.
We're all here to listen to Brittany. Let's just sit back.
Stop.
Sit back and relax.
I told Oscar before this, I was like, oh, she's not gonna dominate this podcast.
Like never.
joking
Manning,
when
that
you
is
know.
your
No,
job.
never.
That is your
I did
job.
last time. I hijacked. I was excited.
No, last time it was so funny because I got done with the podcast and I was like, I didn't say anything.
And I think it was over an hour.
you were just.
I was.
But it was good.
And I was
it was all
talking
great
so
information.
And I made you cry.
Yeah.
I do that.
Maybe we do that today.
I
don't
do
know.
that.
We'll see.
I do that.
So let's jump in. I want to because not everybody knows who y'all are or
Correct.
me even. So let's jump in just real fast. I just want to give the audience a little taste of who you guys are. So Sarah, as a previous guest on the podcast, you were born in Paris, France, and raised in Miami, Florida. You attended the University of Miami and became a celebrity wardrobe stylist, designer, creative director, overall aesthetic curator, philanthropist, and Jewish activist.
Yes.
You've worked with artists such as Jay Wheeler, Ed Sheeran, David Guetta, Justin Giles, J Balvin, shout out J Balvin, Gail,
Yes.
Young Thug, Lil Uzi Vert, and many, many more.
Yes. Damn.
Yeah, you're kind of a big deal.
It's true.
Brittany, as a previous guest on the podcast, you were raised in Miami, Florida, and studied hospitality and event management at the University of Central Florida after working in the events industry. A life-changing year before turning 25, marked by love, heartbreak, career shifts, and moving abroad, led you to write 25 and Selfish and
Best
launch
book
a
ever.
successful motivational speaking career. You began leading empowerment and wellness panels and events, which grew into one-on-one mindfulness coaching, and in 2019 founded Wealth. Did we talk about that?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's new.
Still exists.
What is that?
I like it. And then obviously you're the founder of the Mindful Music Lab, which is, we're neighbors and I still haven't been. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I've got to get over there.
You guys are really neighbors.
No,
Wow.
literally.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
great.
We've been talking about it,
Yeah.
but I, for some reason, haven't gone. That's terrible. But
You
I got to
would
get over
love
there. So
it.
we're gonna do that.
You got to come on a day that we're cooking up, though.
Yeah,
So
for
you
sure.
can just like be in the vibe of the studio.
I
That'd be
feel
fun.
like Brittany with Mindful Music Lab has just created a space for, like, for example, some of my artists go to her. I just finished a podcast with Lex Barrero, and he goes to you for one-on-one, but like just a space
great.
where you intentionally go in and clear your aura before you make magic. Like that to me is what Mindful Music Lab is.
I love that.
What was your biggest intention when you created Mindful Music?
I really just wanted a safe space for people to be themselves,
Yeah.
even if they were an artist or an athlete or anybody in the community who was just like, I need a place to rest my nervous system and reprogram my mindset and be able to open channels without judgment to create whatever that is, whether that's a song, whether that's writing, whether that's programming, a wellness curation or activation, and just feeling like someone's holding space for them and not wanting to give up on themselves.
So good.
And what year is this for you?
Almost my second year being open.
And do you feel like so what you just described, is that what it's becoming, or do you think it's even more? Yeah.
Even more. I'm so grateful. I'm like excited every day to be there. And I know that as a small business entrepreneur, Sarah's been my rock through all of my different professions that I've just expanded into something bigger, thankfully. But you got to go through the ups and downs. And there's so many times when we think that we're going to give up. And I'm self-funded for everything of what I've accumulated over time since birth. And so there's so many times that you just have to remember your why. And this is something that is not about me at all. And I think now it's starting to be, because I'm creating more as an artist and as a writer and executive producer, and I'm creating the time to create instead of just being the healer or the leader and facilitating these different wellness events.
It's so hard to do.
It's so many hats.
It's hard to do. Like when you run a very successful business. Like I look up to you for so much from far. I don't even think you realize. Like I'm like, do you know Manning? Do you know Manning? Do you know Manning? Like you should if you don't, because like it's such a hard thing to do when you own a business or several businesses, to think yourself. We talked about this last time. To stand back and be like, shit, I built this.
Right.
I get to do this,
Well, I love what you just said though, Brittany. You said it's not about you in the beginning, but now it's coming kind of around to where now you can
make it about you.
To make it somewhat about you and do the things that you want. But I think if you start making it about you, you never get to that point.
Yeah, it's creating space. Good. Yeah, it's creating space and time for yourself, where I was like, I really want to create. I wish I had time to create, but I love everything else. And then over time, you find the space to do that, and the right opportunities come to you, And even with you being a multi-entrepreneur and multi-hyphenate, I like to say, you also want to find time to have this podcast. Right. And so that's something that's also for you. It's not completely about you. It's about everybody who walks in the door. It's about how they feel, how you make them feel, their presence, your hospitality. It's so much more than just offering a service. And I want to know how you as well, which I know more of, but even as leading this business and being who you are and also having your philanthropy, how do you create time for your family and a relationship and your personal self? Because that's something that I'm looking to incorporate more in my day-to-day balance that doesn't exist right now.
I think the number one thing for me, for myself, is I have to get up like stupid early. And it sucks sometimes. Like this week was a disaster in terms of getting up. And I could give all kinds of excuses, but I have a 5-year-old and an 8-month-old, and the 8-month-old didn't want to sleep, and so you don't. It messes up your
totally.
Shit happens.
You still got to show up.
But you still got to show up. But I will say, when I had a podcast guest say it like this: when you win the alarm, when you win not hitting snooze, and you actually just wake up and go, then those days you never regret. Like those days you're never like,
it's
man,
true.
I can't believe I woke up at 4 a.m.
Right.
Man, that sucked.
Yeah.
Never happens ever. But if you miss the alarm or hit snooze and you're in a frantic and you're rushing,
that's me
you're
every
always
day.
like, man, damn it, So in those moments that I win the alarm and I get up at 4, which is 90% of the time, then I am doing something for me. I mean, Oscar will tell you, I get here, no one's here. Play worship music,
Listen to that every day.
Read, do what I want to do, take my time. It's silent. There's nothing. There's just me and my place, So that's beautiful for me. And then when it comes to family, just reminding yourself that whenever you have free time, it should be about your family. So like if I have any cancellations, meetings, podcasts, anything, I'm calling my wife immediately like, I'm taking my son to jiu-jitsu. Wow. I'm going to pick up 7. Like, do you need me to do anything? Like just being mindful of opportunity that might not present, because otherwise you might find yourself filling those spaces with more work or more stuff.
So true.
Instead of family, instead of yourself, And then sometimes selfishly it will be like, oh, now I have time to go get I call it a haircut, and people laugh. But go get my head shaved. It's definitely not a haircut.
I love that for you.
That's funny.
I'll be like, I have a haircut today, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
So, but I'll, or massage, or go to the
that.
chiropractor, or go to see my osteopath, go get an IV. Like, being a little selfish in those moments.
Love that.
I just had a guest, and we were talking about how being selfish is okay. Because if you're selfish with yourself, those around you are actually benefiting from a better
100%.
version of you. Like, but if you're not taking care of yourself, then what are you doing? You're moody. You're lashing
Everyone
out,
feels it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
Everyone
like,
feels it.
actually,
It's a domino
you should
effect.
be selfish to a certain degree.
Totally.
You know? Sarah.
So good. No.
I'm saying. Like,
What?
that
Yeah,
was
like
a
how do you
two-part
balance
question.
the
two-part.
time?
That was
Because
a two-person thing.
Yeah, you're
I'm going to tell you
also
something. So I don't
everywhere.
know, obviously you guys don't know this, so I'm going to tell you guys. I hit up Manning after we met the first time, which was on the podcast, and I was like, can I just sit with you for a conversation? And I think I was in a place of like, I just needed some guidance of like, first of all, I'm forever changing. I'm forever trying to be better. I love how you look at me with such love.
my God, 'cause I love you
She
so
looks
much.
at me with so much love, and I just love
I
it.
ran to the front door to
Yeah.
go first with Amber. I was like, she's
just-
here.
it's
And I'm
just
just like, I
amazing.
was like, I'm going to run to greet her.
We don't.
How long
we're-
have y'all known each other?
We're best friends.
Since we were 6.
Yeah.
No
Since we're
way.
6
Yeah.
years old. So she.
And I'm 33.
And we were never friends. Like, she was always the girl in school. She was the dancer. Like, she was the hot bitch. Like, you could not touch Brittany Berger, okay?
Stop
and I like saying that because years later, here I am producing the cover of her book, 25 and Selfish. And then I was like, I think I could manage you, like, get you in Soho House.
you
and
did.
and I did. And then we were best friends. Like,
Yeah,
ever since,
yeah.
just best friends and biggest supporters. But to say that, like, how I manage it, I sometimes need guidance. I sometimes need mentorship. But now, so you know this, like, I'm a proud Jew, but I have found peace in worship music. I listen to Christian music every single morning. And ministers and pastors, and I keep saying, my Jews, you got to get up, like, get with it.
Well,
like,
Jesus
somebody
was Jewish, so
Jesus
you're not-
was
you know,
Jewish.
come
It
on.
doesn't matter. The truth is, it doesn't fucking matter. Whatever motivates you and ticks your talk, like, whatever you got to do.
But do you know the biblically, like, worship is the top thing that God talks about? Like, literally.
Really?
If you really study the Bible,
Yeah.
worship is
Really?
right here.
I just automatically, like, this is new for me. I used to be what you are. Wake up 5 a.m., journal, make my coffee, take a quick cold shower, gym for an hour, 7:30 a.m., work, office,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
day. And then go style, and then 12-hour day, and then come back, and I'm planning the
repeat,
next
right,
big
yeah.
event. Like, I'm like, yo, like, that was me. Clockwork. It was nonstop. I had no personal relationships. I was hustling. I was making a lot of money, and I was burnt out. And then I got burnt out, and then I relaxed, and then I met the man of my life, and I'm like, oh my God, he makes me peaceful. And then I'm like, damn, I gotta get back to work. Like, waking up at 8 a.m., this shit is not okay. And then I'm like, all right, wait, there's a balance, right? The balance is you can wake up a little later, you can work a little later too, just to find a little peace. Because I would beat myself up over it, and I'm like, you know what? That's okay. Now I have worship music.
Oh, I love that.
And I'm like, all right, this is my new prayer. Okay, God, thank you, God.
I gotta make you a
Thank you
a
for leading me,
playlist.
please.
I've got the
yeah,
fire
So
add
all
me,
my
I wanna
Christian
know.
friends, I'm like, yo,
No, I got
I'm
fire
over my
playlist,
worship
fire
music.
playlist.
Can I get another one? And I'm like,
My family has a group like the whole group. What do you call it? Group text.
Yeah, uh-huh.
So we're constantly sending each other like.
perfect. Add me that text. I
music
won't
and
bother
stuff.
you guys. Just add me in there. And I found peace in that. And now I haven't exercised in a long time, but I feel better than ever. I also
you gotta
look
get
back.
back
I
to
have full.
exercising.
I know it's important for me. It
Because that's
is
just from a health and from longevity
100%.
standpoint, your bones, like
Everything.
Your
Mentally.
Yeah. Take us back a little bit to
Yeah.
when you were on that, like, I hate the
Grind
word
mode.
grind, but
Yeah, it
that's
was.
what
It was,
people-
though.
And then so it was your new man that kind of
No.
shifted. What
I got
was it?
sick.
Okay.
I got sick.
What year was this?
I was in a bad relationship 2022, 2023.
3 to 2 years ago.
2022, 2020.
So this
I
is
was actually
really recent.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
actually
Together.
with Brittany.
Yeah.
And I go, Brittany, my legs hurt.
Yeah,
And
I
she goes,
Reiki'd her.
why? And I'm like, we went to a party at some mansion. I don't know if you remember this. And I'm like, I'm not feeling good.
Yeah.
And it took me years of going to different doctors, like a year and a half. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like somebody's like, so I went to see a cancer doctor and they're like, you have to come back. We got to run more tests on you. I'm like, oh shit, I think I have cancer. And they're like, we can't figure out what you have. Autoimmune. Okay. Did where they stick the thing up your ass? What is it called? Sorry, colonoscopy. Sorry.
Or a wild Saturday night.
Excuse me.
One or the other.
I'm sorry.
So cute.
But yeah, whatever. They checked me out and they're like, okay, you have some sort of Crohn's or IBS. We can't figure it out.
Right, and your stomach.
They couldn't figure it out. My bones, I was like, oh, maybe it's MS. I just feel like I'm deteriorating. I just don't know what it is, and I just couldn't figure it out. It was my mind.
Interesting. So you
was
basically
my mind.
like were driving yourself into the ground.
Absolutely. I broke up with this man, and I went to see a holistic doctor. Okay. Dr. Lorena. She changed my fucking life. Yeah. She is.
Shout out Dr. Lorena.
Dr. Lorena changed my life. Within 3 months, I had no more lower abdomen pain. I had no more leg pain.
All through
my mind was clear. Food
and medicine.
Movement.
Herbal medicine. Yeah.
Food, movement. No, not even medicine. No. Movement. Moving slower. Prayer.
Beautiful.
God. I went to temple by myself. I mean, I was in a place of like suicide, whatever, everything, therapy, all the things, and that shift happened immediately at 3 months. In 3 months, I was better. I was like, I'm okay, but it's because I left him. I left him. I knew that he was mentally destroying me, and a relationship like that will destroy your body too.
You were sick almost that whole relationship.
I was
all the
sick.
time.
I was always sick. I was swollen. Like it was weird. Like
was he like verbally abusing you?
Verbally, physically, everything.
And
that's why I'm such a believer in the power of words.
Oh yeah.
And the things we tell ourselves, but then also the things that our loved ones tell us.
Totally.
And the people we hang around. It all matters.
Yeah.
It so matters. It so matters.
You know what's funny though? Because I remember even when you were like, something's wrong. And we always think worst case scenario, remember? Yeah. And I remember raking her and I was like, nothing is wrong. Like,
right. I asked her, I said, am I sick?
Yeah,
I want to know. I'll fix
it's
it.
How you were just perceiving everything that you're feeling and things around you. Remember when even like drinking water? She wouldn't drink water.
I would. So I came on your podcast. I still had that problem. I was scared to drink the water. Really? And that day I said, you know what? I'm safe here. Drink the water.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
I thought someone would poison me. And you know who put me back into... Girl? No, but it wasn't
She's reprogrammed.
It was...
Made in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Which I love North Carolina. I'm safe there too.
You do.
But it was... He poisoned my mind so much, and he would always talk about the evil eye. And he'd be like, yep, that's the evil eye. And I'd be like, so everything around me is like everyone's out to get me. He
obviously was not Jewish.
Yes, he was. It's actually Tunisian Jews. It's a big problem with them. Tunisian, yes. Tunisian is from Algeria. It's a big problem. It's all about evil eye. Don't tell anyone too much. Don't tell this. Don't move like this. Don't do. And he was getting who you surround yourself with. You become, like you said.
Yeah, of course, definitely.
And it was that, but then my aunt goes, do you think that you're the queen of fucking England? That you think that they want to... And I'm like, you're right. Who am I? That anyone wants to poison me. It is kind of funny, though. Like, it is. It's like, who am I?
Yeah.
You know what? But for a long time, it was... and I would always look back, and it was just bad. And then...
Thank God
meeting people like you, man, I swear, it was all a part of my... This happened quick. Like, the shift was quick.
Yeah. Because you were in good spirits when we talked.
I was so much better.
Yeah, you could tell.
I was so much better. I mean...
and it's interesting because even with that relationship, like we manifested him.
She manifested him.
I did over the phone.
The new guy?
I was like, she got out of another relationship, and I was like,
a month later, this guy comes
I was like, let's manifest this for you, and let's just see what's popping in.
She was a French sexy man, south of France.
Passion, because that's what she wanted.
Who loves you, wants to
who
kiss
also like
you all the time,
like all this stuff.
It was him.
I literally
No,
he was
3 weeks to the day.
Yeah.
3 weeks to the day. I even remember that night when I called you. We were like, for fun, because when you're manifesting, it needs to be least resistant. You can't think about how, when. You just have to be open, being like, sure, if it comes, amazing. If it doesn't, whatever, that's great. And she was like, Britt, he showed up and I'm going to France. And I was like, oh shit. And then I met him and I was just like, I don't know, we don't know. And then throughout the relationship, we're just like, damn. But the thing is when people also like manifest someone and there's tidbits, parts of that relationship in that person, even like an opportunity that you're attracted to, you feel like, oh, I'm going to fall in love with potential. Maybe I'll stay. Maybe they'll change. Maybe this is good for me. But like, I want my family to be Jewish and all these different things. And it's easier that he's French because she's French. But in reality, it was destroying her. And unless I was going to come over there and knock him out. But thankfully,
jealous of my light.
Yeah.
It was jealous. He was the evil eye. Yeah, the other
one. The other one.
Okay.
So
not the current one.
No, we love Adam now, but
the new one is the one you manifested.
No, the old one.
He was the old
manifested.
One. We didn't manifest this one.
We didn't manifest this one. God gave him.
Okay.
Let's
go.
Well, something to be said about that.
Yes.
You got to be careful what you manifest.
You have to be
100%.
specific.
You have to be specific.
Now I get it. I think that's what you were saying.
Yeah,
yes.
It's that sometimes when you think you want something, it's not necessarily what you need.
Totally. I manifest everything under the sun. Some of these things aren't what I really need, or when it comes, I'm like, you know what? Not for me, but thank you, universe or God, for bringing that, you know? Yeah. And just kind of being so clear with not only what we want, but just realizing what's for your highest good. Like what's truly for you, not what's against you. Or there's so many things that are packaged in tests and lessons, and we can learn the lessons differently, or we can just choose what feels most naturally to you, but it has to be what's for your highest good, like what's serving you. You know, when you talk about worship, it's like worshiping God, right? It's being of service. And it's also a relationship of communication with our mind, with our thoughts, with prayer, and the best case scenario instead of reverting to the worst case scenario, even if the worst case shows up. It's like, can I believe in something greater and more powerful?
Do you feel like you're at peace? I know I'm switching this, but do you feel like you're at peace?
Great question.
Why are you do this?
I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, love you.
I know. I asked because I don't know why this just came up. She's the one that like does this, but I feel like so many people look up to people like you. Like I told you, I'm your biggest fan. But I wonder, are you at peace? Are our leaders at peace?
Great question.
Every time. I'm sorry. Manning,
It's
don't.
all right.
You can fire me.
Yeah, I'll need a minute on that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you
But
at peace?
no.
Yeah, but no.
The
The
answer
answer
is
is
no.
no. Okay.
And not from a standpoint of I have peace within myself and like who I am
Yes.
and what I'm living and where I'm going.
That you're at peace with.
I'm at peace.
Amazing.
You know, like
Okay.
that's family, God. I'm at peace with all that. But am I at peace?
Yeah.
No. You know, like there's no way to do what I'm trying to do
And be at peace.
and be at peace.
Feel
I don't
the
believe.
same
You're
way,
gonna
man.
come see me for a Reiki session, and
I feel the
I'm gonna
same
bring
way
you
though.
at peace.
But I feel the same. I feel like being a leader, it's very hard to be at peace.
Yeah, it's just it's a constant. And then also too, like I tell people this all the time, like this never stops, like ever.
Yeah.
So it's like you're always thinking about
Yeah.
everything that you're doing. And then also you're also when you care so much, if someone tells me something and then like, or I'll give you a real small example. I'll have an interaction with one of my employees that I didn't feel like went right. I can't just
Let it go.
forget about it.
Yep.
I have to make sure that they know that I didn't like the way that happened and that I want to make it better.
Yes.
So even if so here's the biggest thing that I'm learning as you grow too. It's not my fault at all that it happened. I didn't do anything wrong. It was actually in their reaction and what they did, they were in the wrong. But I feel like because of my position, I have to be the bigger person and make sure that they are okay. When it's all said and done.
But that is
you know what I'm saying?
That's good
But
leadership.
that's hard when you have 80 something employees and you're
yeah.
having different conversations all the time, and then you're thinking about, well, wait a minute, what was the last thing I said to them? Did I say that because I'm very aggressive. I'm very like to the point.
Dominant,
Amber.
yeah.
And when you're alpha and you're not, it's not that you don't care about someone's feelings. You're trying to get shit done.
Yes.
And sometimes you can't
Yeah.
beat around the bush. You just
That's
have to
right.
be like, we got to do this today, and we have to do this, and we have to check this
It's hard
box.
for me to do now because I'm so worried about people, like their feelings.
Yeah, but you can't.
Yeah.
You'll get paralyzed in that and you won't get shit done.
That's
like,
right.
We cannot operate a business off of emotions and feelings. Like, it just doesn't happen.
Right.
But you still can. Those things don't go away though. Like, like people have emotions, they have feelings, you have emotions, you have feelings. So at some point in time, you have to find the time to address those moments. And that's the hard part is like, when do you do that? Because if you're in the middle of a day, doing all this stuff that's costs millions of dollars and and that's another thing too. There's such a disconnect, I think, between what I do and what your employees do and what your investors do and what like it's
a lot.
No one really knows what I do.
Right.
Like on
I was gonna like
basis.
like that's what I was gonna like your day must be so wild.
Well, that's why I laugh when you're like, do you have peace? Or why I cried when you have peace, because no, there's no way to have peace when you literally are waking up like, I mean, I'm talking 7:30 in the morning. It's on.
Yeah.
And then it goes till
12 hours later, probably.
8
yeah.
But it's your purpose.
Yeah. No. And again, I wouldn't change it for the world. Like it's a cause greater than myself. This isn't about me. It never has been.
Yeah. No, it's literally
Even though other people want to try to make it about me, it's not about me. Like if it was about me, then the name of the gym would be Manning, and
so
the
true.
movement would be
so true. Yeah. That's true.
Maninga or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Instead of No Days Off and Legacy and stuff.
Right.
So I mean, from an early on, I knew that if I made it about me, this wouldn't be huge. Correct. But if I could make it about everybody else, then eventually, it'll come back around and I'll get what I want out of it.
What a full circle.
But we're not done yet. Like, and we haven't even. That's why my staff hates me. Is that we're just getting started.
For sure.
We're just getting started. So they're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
After every location.
Sometimes I feel old, man. I'm like 32.
No,
and I'm like,
you need to stop saying that.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I'm like, damn, like
I'm the youngest.
I'm
Don't
a
say that.
wardrobe stylist. Like, how long is that gonna fucking last? You know what I'm saying?
However long you want it to last.
You're also so much more than that.
I am. But
And don't label yourself either.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a gym owner. I'm not a personal trainer.
So true.
I'm not a beverage owner. I'm not anything. I'm me.
Yeah.
I am me. I can do whatever the heck. And I've got the stuff that's in my head that I want to do.
You have time.
People would be like, "You want to do what?" Like, and I know it's coming, and I can do whatever I want to do. Yeah. Whatever you want to do, you can do it because you have a superpower within yourself.
It's so true.
So.
You can do anything. And your energy.
No, that I know.
Like, age is not real.
But it's the age thing.
It's like wisdom of experience, of knowledge, of lessons, of purpose, of saying, I want to open that cafe, and you did it in 2 weeks. Like, there's so many things that we have ideas that we act on, and you don't have to have just one purpose. The collective mission is the purpose. Yeah. How you're feeling that day is a part of the purpose. What you're able to share with, your authenticity is the purpose. Like, I'm going to be young forever, even when I'm 100, because just my skin may look differently over time, or my body, but my energy, I hope, is thriving and alive. And that's what we have to tell you, though, nurture.
There's something to be said about Botox.
Oh my
Have you had it?
I just got Botox for the first time like 2 months ago.
I can't because I sweat a lot working out.
I'm
Don't
a new
tell
woman.
my wife. She's always talking about Botox.
Really?
Like,
let me tell you. I was against it. I was against it, but wow.
It would melt right out of me. They're like, when I work it in a heated space, they're just like, what's the point?
It's
like,
funny. We were having a conversation at dinner with the waitress, and she was talking about Botox, and then she was describing like the wrinkles in your forehead, and I was like, she's sitting here describing me. Like,
Oh
you know
my
what I mean?
God!
Like I have wrinkles in my forehead, but then again, I was like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like,
no, but for men,
wrinkles,
I love wrinkles. You got to keep the
come
wrinkles on a man. It's different.
Right. But to go back on the thing you're saying you're old, like I had a conversation with my mom today, and I called her out of the blue, and she loves it when I do that. And she actually texts me like, "You just made my day."
Oh, you do. You should do that more.
Of course, I do it all the time.
Yes.
So should I.
But she's in her 70s, and she's a rock star. Totally. Does Pilates 3 days a week. Walks like a champ every morning. Eats right. She's a florist. Does weddings. Like, she's thriving.
Where does she live?
In Pensacola, Florida. So. where like old people live. But you know.
Listen,
No.
retirement
It's
like
beautiful.
sounds
Have you
nice.
had her on the
But she's not
podcast
retired.
yet?
No, not yet. That'd be
you
fun.
guys
I actually
should.
want to have her and her best friend.
Yes.
You should.
They're such, you know, just, you know, y'all. And
I
they
love
talk.
it. I want to know your
So
mom.
it
I want to
would
know
be
her.
Hilarious.
Oh, I can't wait.
Hilarious.
You have to do it.
Yeah. And she's hilarious too, because every time she listens to the podcast, she always like calls me like, well, you didn't tell this story. You didn't tell
my
that
God.
story.
Yeah,
I'm like, Mom, the podcast is only a certain amount of time.
Yes.
I
love it. I want to know
your.
what's your mom's name?
Millie. Yeah.
I feel like I know her right now just from what you said. I feel like,
Well, I'm
like I can
definitely,
get that energy.
You know, more of I would say my personality, and some of moms are very creative. Like my mom can take, so she does flower arrangements and wreaths and like does all the flowers for weddings. And it's like, I'll show you some of her pictures.
Yes.
Like,
Please do.
Unbelievable. Like, and you know, they start from scratch and then they just, you know,
It's
start
amazing.
adding-
It's
it's
amazing.
amazing.
She's so good at that.
And then I used to change, like, she used to like take me shopping with her all the time. That's why I got into fashion so much. And then we used to do a lot of decorating and all that. That's where I got all my creative side.
Yeah, because you have it.
And then I got my discipline side from my dad. So.
Wow. Yeah. That's amazing. Moms are fucking. Shout out to our moms.
Shout
man.
out.
They're amazing.
I love our moms.
Yeah.
So what else is cooking with you two? So Brittany, what's going on with you? What's the latest?
I'll tell you what I'm really excited about.
Tell me.
Because I'm making more time for creativity, I've been writing every day and I've been making sync music for commercials and advertising placements, and it has been the most fun thing in my entire life.
Like jingles? Like
Yo, I'm a rap star.
No.
Full blown. But then I have to bring in other artists because I sound really girly pop when I rap. Not saying everything is a rap, but it kind of is. With commercials and stuff. It has to be really punchy. And I'm like so grateful, even when I was driving over here today. And yes, there's times when we talk about being tired and we don't like to use that word, but there's nothing else I want to do in this world. And I'm so grateful that I get to do everything I love every day. And even though I would love more hours and I'd love to sleep more and I'd love more rest or, you know, creating more space for a personal life, but this is all I want to do. I'm like living and breathing it and continuing to see what works, what doesn't, how do you pivot, what do you say yes to, what do you say no to.
Right.
And
That's a big one.
we talk about that a lot.
It's so good though.
Yeah.
I'll touch on that after. It's
Yeah,
really
and
good,
so I just love making music right now.
What's your writing process?
So it's really interesting because let's say if an artist or a writer comes into the studio and they're like, okay, and before we do sessions, we do like a little bit of breath work, meditation, sound healing, intention cards, we share it. We allow our human selves to really show up before we create our art. And for me, even though I start my morning that day, I might be like doing a Reiki session, hopping on a meeting, someone's coming for a tour, going into the studio, and I'm like, okay, let me hear this beat. So either I feel like a lot of the ideas I already had, and I just channel them. I'm just like, even if I'm in the shower, I'm like, yo, like this bar is fire. Where's my phone? I hope I can remember it after I write it.
She sends me voice notes of like her just talking, and I'm like, put this on a beat. Like,
yeah.
She's like smooth with it, you know?
Yeah, because I can write without the beat and have my own melodies, but then if
Yeah.
I listen to a beat, I'm like, okay, I start with melody first, and then I might have an idea after listening to that beat, and then I'll just start writing a bunch of stuff of what I feel like I'm hearing. And what's really interesting about my writing process is just like when I'm doing my energy healings or leading a guided meditation, I don't plan anything. I just channel
best.
from source.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I walk in, I read the room first. I'm not gonna come in with an idea. For me, that's unnatural in the way that I flow. I'm like, who is in here? Like, what does everybody need to hear? And because I'm an intuitive channeler and my intuition is so strong, how I channel, I trust it more than anything, just like I do with an energy healing session. So when I'm writing, I'm realizing I have all these different bars and I'm not even being intentional about some of them, and they all flow exactly as they're supposed to. So I think it's like, in addition to the skill, it's channeling, but I think that so many artists and writers who are really great channel, because when people are like, what rhymes with this? I'm like, no. What story?
That sounds wrong.
Yeah, what story are you trying to share?
Right.
Because you're not making this only for you, but for other people to feel attached to have a memory to. Like when I think about a song that I haven't heard in 10 years, it takes me right back to that feeling. It takes me right back to maybe that punch or excitement in my nervous system, thinking of where was I with this person, you know? And I just love making music right now. Like, it's my favorite thing. And I love being there to help other people. I told her this has been a really interesting week. One of my favorite artists came in. Shout out to Beam. Oh my God, Beam, love him. And he came in and he's a night owl. So even though with one of the other producers, we started at 1 p.m. on Tuesday, he's like, all right, I think Beam's gonna pull up at 9. And we're like, okay. So he comes at 1 in the morning. So now we're already there for 12 hours. I left at 6 in the morning because I knew I had to go home, sleep 2 hours and come back for another session that I need to write for. You need the energy, you know? No workout, just shower, quick juice, get back. They were there till 10:30 in the morning. Wow. And I would have stayed till 10:30. He's the only person I will literally stay in the studio overnight for because I love watching his art and I love his genius and I love him as a person. He's like family to me. Like I want to be in the room when he's creating. And so I feel today finally recovered from that because it doesn't mean that work stops. Taught 2 back-to-back fitness classes at Equinox that night. And then yesterday I had another full day tonight and now here, you know, but it's because I also love to teach. I only have time to teach fitness like once a week and I won't give it up. It's not like they're paying me a fortune. I'm just like, I've been there since the beginning. I've been there for 10 years teaching fitness. Oh, wow. And now I'm doing meditation for their app. So it's just like, it brings me back to my old life too.
I love that.
Of who I was before all of this when I was like 21 or 23, whenever I started.
Sometimes
23.
It's nice to go back a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to know where you came from, you know? It's nice. I like that.
Now I'm like, should I be making worship music? But we'll talk about it. But that's what's exciting for me.
I'm in on that
That's
one.
really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Everything else has just been really expanded with different events, different panels, different
Have you
curation.
ever had to get rid of somebody in the room?
Ooh,
no.
That's a good question. Well, then good
I'm gonna
energy.
say
You know,
no.
like when you come into a room
Yeah.
and you said you feel the energy and
Yes.
have you ever had someone that your just energy is just bad?
God, I've
You know
had
what?
that.
Actually, someone invited someone to my studio, and bless him and his energy. It was not for me, and I asked them for him not to come back yet, and someone else too, because they brought in the wrong energy. But it wasn't during a session; it was kind of just for a tour. And I was like, I don't want them here, and I don't want them to work here, and I don't ever want someone coming in here from the outside making anyone feel uncomfortable. And I'm so grateful for my team because they know how to hold a session, they know how to lead an intention, they know what's right or wrong. Like I say, my Alejandro, who's my studio manager and lead engineer, I call him my right hand and left brain because someone will come in and I was like, I don't feel good about this. He's like, me either. I was like, done, they're not coming back. But I never had to kick anybody out of a session because the energy that we hold within that space, when you walk in, everyone says immediately they feel it. And I don't think I feel when it's off, but it feels natural to me. And maybe that's just something that I carry or that we instill in the space, just like walking into yours here, you know? And
God, it's immediate here.
totally.
The energy in here is immediate.
Yeah.
You want to be better.
Yeah.
You want to have no days off.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, like you walk in, you're like, I need that water. I need that t-shirt. I need those socks. I need that
I wanna
shit.
sit on
I need
that
to be
couch.
a part of Legacy Fit. I want to
Yeah.
be part of this. That's how you
Yeah.
feel when you walk in here.
It's so true. And I think that definitely carries with us and our team, which is important for our team, you know, and having those hard conversations sometimes where I'm also alpha, as are we all, and really in my divine masculine. And I feel like this space has helped me shift into my divine feminine, which is what I want to help you with when you come see me, whenever you want for Reiki session. And I'm trying to figure out how to have that boss mentality, but to be in more of my divine feminine of understanding, compassion, receiving, and being able to effectively communicate how we react and respond to a situation of a fuck up or something that went off, because at the end of the day, you are in charge of it. It is your responsibility, no matter who is under you, who you're in charge, in your space, it's your service, it's your value. And so really learning throughout those processes how to show up as a boss, how to show up as a leader, how to show up as a creator, how to show up as a healer, as a woman, as an entrepreneur, all those different things. And allowing yourself also not to be so attached to not the outcome, but the situation in front of us, being like, how are we going to handle this? Because in the end, even if it's like you're removing someone from a room or from an event or from an energy, it's because they also have a lot that they need to heal, that person. So some people kind of act out because they don't know how to effectively internalize and find a solution to what they're feeling. And it could be all the way from, you know, inner child work. Like, I know there's a lot of things, side note, just coming out about, people who are sex workers or have been in jail for a long time or have been, you know, shot at, I would say. I have those people come to my studio and I Reiki them. So I really see and feel when I'm Reiking you, I feel what you feel. So if you're crying, I'm crying. If you have a pain in your chest, I have a pain in my chest. And it's such important work and holding space for those type of people that even if I know I don't want someone coming back, I still try to give them nuggets of wisdom to heal on their journey, because I know that it's so much more effective for them to just be in the space
and I think
to
it's
have visited.
better karma for you too, because
we just need to have understanding for people.
Yeah. Like I definitely feel that. I think that you do a good job of that, of just giving people that benefit of the doubt, for sure.
Yeah.
Like you need to hold space for people like that too, and you could change their lives because of it,
and also see them at where they are, which we discussed on your podcast too, where I'm like always trying to see the good in people, but sometimes then you're being taken advantage of, and then you need to have all the eyes.
It happens for sure.
How about you? What are you excited about? You're doing all the things.
Is that what you want me to answer?
Sure.
Okay. I'm so excited because I started my own podcast. It's called That's So Akiba Podcast. And it's just been beautiful conversations, just honest and open. And honestly, it's where I feel like I thrive. And then I rebranded the lab. So the space where we do photo shoots, editorials, whatever. I changed the name because I felt it closed me in on one space. And I wanted more spaces. So I changed the name to The Spaces. And now I'm opening my third space. And it's downstairs for events only, can fit 150 people, and it's called The Ground. So we have the lab, the extension, the ground, and now the podcast room, which is in the
Is this all in one place?
So the three of them are upstairs, podcast room, extension, and lab, and downstairs on US 1 is the ground.
Are you leasing all this space, or you own the building, or how does it work?
We own the buildings,
Oh, amazing.
So I just started this space, and I'm like, you know what? We need a space where wellness instructors can come, host their classes, and make money without paying monthly rents because they can't afford it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the ground is for me. It's a space of healing and coming down to earth, and where people can bring their visions to life in a space of wellness.
You're so swaggy, man.
Look at his fit. So today Manning is wearing...
Wow, you're so cool.
Rick Owens.
Of course you are.
Minimal. You know him from the
I do.
LA
I
brand?
am. Yes.
And this is mine.
I know.
No Days
I
Off.
love the cut of that tank top. It's a good cut. You know what it
I
reminds
got
me
it
of?
from Rick Owens.
Oh, really?
I took his tank top and then shipped it to China.
Good for you. It reminds me of G Unit though. You remember G Unit?
Oh, of course. Yeah,
that's
I
what it reminds me of.
G
Yeah, those
Unit.
tanks.
We used to
You used
wear
to rock that?
Back in the day. Oh my gosh, so embarrassing. Back in the day, we'd wear the wife beater underneath, and then the G Unit tank top on top. Then we had the iced out skull belt buckles.
Stop.
That's so funny.
Stop it now.
With the
With the
earrings.
earring, you had an earring?
Oh,
Send us a photo.
Stop it now. You need to.
There was no,
this,
you
didn't
isn't
have
so
it back
sad
then.
that we didn't take. It wasn't like
Halloween
today.
this
Is
year.
it sad though?
You know?
I just think you were living in the
Oh no!
present
I mean, to me, it was
man.
way better.
Way better.
Because there was no phones, and the club scene without phones was
The
so
best.
much fun.
Popping.
You just danced your ass off. You came out of there soaking wet, looking like you just got through with a workout.
So true.
We were the people when like they turned the lights on and they were sweeping and we're still like dancing and stuff.
Yeah.
They're like, guys, you gotta go.
People don't dance anymore.
No, it's ridiculous.
I went to some
I
restaurant.
don't know how to dance anymore. It's like,
I will teach
no,
you.
You're right. You're right.
no, I'm saying other people. I know how to dance. I don't need to.
He's like,
be taught how to
You're
dance.
like, excuse me,
me?
break star. I
Who are
want
you
to dance
talking
battle
about?
right now.
No, but like, you know what?
Magic Mike
I
over
feel
here.
I feel so bad for this generation that they didn't get that. Like, people don't have fun anymore. People don't have fun anymore.
Are you sure? I'm having a great time.
No, not that kind of fun.
But you're right.
we are having
It's just
fun
different.
working.
It's different.
We're having fun working.
I think that their idea of fun is caps. For example, let's throw this one out. You go to a concert. You literally are filming the
whole thing.
entire aspect of the concert.
Whole thing.
But to them, that is fun. That's all
That's
they
their
know.
experience.
And
You're
that's
so
their
right.
experience, and that's their fun because what they're doing, they think they're doing, is they're creating FOMO to all their friends.
So
that look what I'm doing and look where I am.
Validation.
When we went to a concert, and I still do this. I mean, I don't film barely any. Maybe
Same
pull
here.
my phone out a little bit.
Yes.
But for the most part, I'm
There. In it.
listening to the music, dancing. I'm observing everybody. Like,
So,
you know what I mean?
you wanna
I
hear-
just went to Usher and it was like
I
amazing.
went.
So good, right?
Are you kidding me?
So good.
So I
He turned the
bought
entire Kaseya Center into a strip club.
How good? Into a strip club.
Literally a
I
strip
was
club.
there looking at him and I'm like, I told Adam, I said, Adam, whatever happens there, you can't judge me before. He goes, You do whatever you want at Usher.
Thank God we
You
had
eat those chairs.
Thank God we had a suite, because I was like, I looked at my wife and I was like, there ain't hell no way in hell.
Yeah, really? Oh my God.
Like, I know Usher. I was like, nah, he ain't.
Listen.
I used to train Usher. So.
No way.
Wow, what a body he has.
What? Listen.
And
how old is he?
No, he went from, it was like 10 p.m. till like 12:30, so 2.5 hours
Not stop.
straight.
Wow.
With like 6 different costume changes, roller skates, like.
And he's an older man. How old is he? 50?
Yeah, endurance.
I think he's my age. I think he's more like.
But to
upper
move
40s,
like that, I mean, I
and
guess
he can still
when
dance
you tell
his ass off. Like, it was an incredible concert. It actually surprised me.
Yeah.
So
I love that. No, wow. Yeah.
But you're there though. Like for me, you're
just
there
so
and you're
good.
watching everyone with their freaking
With their
phones.
phone.
Yeah,
and
it's
you just
annoying.
want to like make a PA
So I went
announcement
to-
like, please put your phones
Yes,
away. You know?
I went to Florence and the Machine. Do you know who that is?
Of course.
So
Yeah.
I went to Florence and the Machine, and she said, first thing, she didn't even sing yet. She goes, everyone put your phones away. This is not meant to be filmed. You can go on YouTube for it.
Love it.
Put your phone away and be here.
You know, Dave Chappelle's shows, you're not allowed. Like he
Oh,
puts it
really?
in a protective
Yeah.
case, and it's amazing because
Wow, because you get to be there.
you're just
present.
there,
Yeah.
laughing your ass
But
off.
she
and-
kicked out anyone who took out their phone. Security
Yeah.
would kick you out.
Wow,
Which is
love
kind of wild, but she literally kicked them out. And
Good
it
for
was
her.
magical. Magical.
I've always there's a restaurant here. It kind of has that Chicago like 60s vibe. It's downtown. What's the name of it? They dance. They have like poles, and the girls have the little nipple tassels.
I don't know.
and
I wanna
there's a
go there,
live
though.
band. It's an
Where do you
awesome.
know?
I gotta find out.
Okay, yeah,
y'all
let
would
me
love
know.
it, but you're not allowed to have your phone there.
We should go.
And
I
it's
love that.
amazing.
I love
it's
that.
amazing.
Bring
and it's
that
such
back,
a
you know?
fun,
Yeah.
And the entire energy of the restaurant is different. The entire energy,
course.
because no one's on their phone.
Right.
Because you're watching tables of people doing this.
Yeah.
Instead of,
Yeah.
like,
At our dinner table, we do not take out our phones. No phones at our dinner table.
you ever
at
do this
home.
with your friends of stacking the phones on the
And whoever grabs it
whoever
first
grabs
and
it has
pays,
to pay the
we've
bill?
done that before.
No, I've never
That's
done
Yes.
a good one.
You
So
put it in the
whenever you
middle,
go out
whoever
with a
grabs
bunch
it
of
first
friends,
pays.
You stack everybody's phones on top of each other, and
Wow.
whoever grabs their phone first has to pay for everything. It's a good one.
It is a good one. I won't grab it first.
I would win that game.
Would
I
you?
don't like to be on my phone.
Yeah.
I just have to sometimes.
Yeah, I mean,
But
and that's the
whatever.
thing. I mean, you say the
crazy.
thing about technology and like all this stuff of where we're going. It is useful. Like I had this fascinating podcast with this big time bodybuilding influencer, like super knowledgeable exercise science guy, and it blew me away because I did not see this coming. But he literally was like, his best friend is ChatGPT. Like his best, like
Wow.
like that's like intimate for him. Like he like sits with it and asks it questions and then gets to know it, like, and all this stuff. Wow. And so like it intrigued me a little bit. So
Yeah.
I've been like
Playing with
more
Chat?
often like feeding, not asking ChatGPT.
No, you feed it
but
so they get to
feeding
know
it
you.
me,
Information.
so that
They
it
get to
has
know you.
more
Yeah,
of
yeah.
an understanding
Yeah.
of how I think and how I operate. So that, because something that irritates the shit out of me is, and I'm sure y'all get this, like when your employees like send you the email and it's obviously ChatGPT and they're not even trying to
Yes,
put,
you
know
don't
what I mean?
fix it up.
It's like,
Yeah.
come on, guys. Like, I know what you're doing. You
Yeah.
know? It's like you want to still have your own voice.
Right.
I'm sure you're
Absolutely.
seeing that in the music industry. I bet it's ridiculous.
You know what? No.
No?
Because I'll tell you why. I
Okay.
like ChatGPT for different things. Like if
Yeah.
I write a proposal and I want them to make it look pretty, great.
Right.
If I'm like, I don't have time to write this email the way that Brittany wants to, but I'm gonna write it anyway, make it sound a little more professional, then I'll
I
fix
literally
it, send.
say, chat, make this sound better.
Yeah. Or if people are like, do this event summary for this, and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm always using, or about me, or a different bio, and put like a tweak to it. But when it comes to making music, we did an event at Soho where it was like using AI with paper water to produce and write a song. And the thing is when people are trying to use that, I just don't think it's successful. Like I've seen it in the room where like, oh, what would ChatGPT say? And I'm like, I don't fuck with that. Like,
Isn't it weird though that there's AI songs on
yeah.
streaming that have like
It's so
20 million?
It's
But
crazy.
the problem is, it's like,
crazy.
this is going to take away our jobs.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't. So I just went to an AI
convention.
And it was kind of like a small convention. And they were saying that. And they were like, you have to do this and you have to do this. I'm in the opinion that luxury and premium, like this space and like what we do,
right,
is luxury and premium because we're not letting robots do
That's
it.
right.
Or
yes, I like that.
For sure.
That's good.
When people want realness and authentic and they want a space to be vulnerable and they want an experience, they're not going to want to talk to a robot or to AI. They're going to want to do this.
I love that you're saying that. That made me feel a lot better.
Gyms, to me, the more tech in a gym, the
100%.
Like, I don't want to watch a TV while I'm working out. I don't want to have a bunch of freaking gadgets on me. Like, that's another thing too. Like, people always give me shit about not having gadgets, like the
I'm so glad that you don't.
The whoop and the ring and the this and the
that.
that.
I don't really wear stuff like that.
I hate that shit. Yeah. So the reason why I stopped is because my Apple Watch broke. And it broke, and then I ordered a new one. And then the new one didn't work. And these things are like $1,000. So I was like, well, this is some bullshit. And then we're so big. I don't know if y'all, I'm the worst with returning like stuff. Like I just
I'm a professional returner. Hit me
I'm
up.
the worst. I need to give you all my shit to return.
It's my job.
But I don't.
It's funny.
I don't have time to go to the Apple store and return something, or certainly not USPS or whatever. But so I'm just the kind of person that's still sitting in my wife can't stand
No way.
Oh yeah, I've got like 14 iPhones in there.
But I love that you don't have any TVs here and screens, because I'm the same way in my studio. I'm like, I'm not going to have you play video games. I do not have TVs for you. We have books. We have intention cards. We have people.
Right.
We have nature. You have sound bowls. You have an energy room. We have.
But see, that's
what it should be.
Is luxury.
Yeah,
that
I agree.
Is premium.
I agree.
Is different. That's is
good.
Providing something that others are not doing, and then it's taking us back to
yourself,
originality. What do you want to call it, old school or whatever. It's like there's nothing like going in the middle of the woods and just like experiencing wilderness, or going to the beach and hearing the waves and putting your toes in the sand and jumping in the cold ocean. Like, there's nothing like that. Watching the sunrise, watching the sunset. Like, so you're trying to tell me that AI is going to get rid of that? No, it can't. No. It can't replace this. It can't replace old-fashioned hard work. It never will. I don't care what they come up with.
I love that you say that.
Yeah, I think it's helpful, but I don't know. I think in terms of what people want in connection, like even when it goes back to like AI writing songs, it just doesn't hit the same. They're not writing from emotion. They're just writing from words, or you also have like a swagger about it. You have an attitude about it. You have certain syllables that you need to hit for a certain bar and change of melodies, and they don't know that.
And also too, when you say that some of the best music is written when they are at their lowest part, so in the rappers' best albums were their first or second albums every single time.
Yeah.
Because they were
real,
starving, and they were hungry, and they were still
always
selling drugs, and they were still gang banging.
Correct. True.
And then when some of the best songwriters, in my opinion, going through a breakup, or you know what I mean?
Right.
So they're never writing about like
favorites.
when they're happy.
Writing from experience.
That's right.
Exactly.
Which is,
and AI can't mimic.
They can't do that.
Can't.
So good.
Tell them your big announcement.
Oh, you have a big announcement other than getting married. And when is your wedding again?
May 25th.
Okay.
Sunday, May 25th.
You make sure.
Of course.
And
she sent me the little.
It's gonna be a party.
I think it's
Save
in
the
my
date.
calendar already. Save the date.
I got signed to an agency, for a styling agency.
Oh, amazing!
It's the only agency. It's the biggest styling agency in the world.
Awesome.
So she's been manifesting this for a really long time.
Yeah. 5 years, 5 years, been hitting them up, no answers. And then my cousin does it and they answer right away.
Thank God.
When you pretend you have a manager, they're like, oh, she's interesting,
I love it.
Coming from the source doesn't do the job. But it's really exciting.
And how does that work? Do they get you gigs?
They get you gigs. I bring on whatever clients I have now. They just throw 20% on top of it, but they manage everything from A to Z. So like now I don't have to do the little stuff. And that's really big for me as far as timing. And I think this is the next step to being, where I want to be in the styling world, but also in the creative direction world.
So go back. So we're gonna put you on the spot here, because earlier you were like, I'm 32.
32. Mm-hmm.
I'm 32 and I'm just a stylist. Like you said that. Like why did you say that?
I don't know why I said that.
And you said that. And now you have this awesome announcement.
I don't know.
It's like, what are you talking about here? Like, what are you doing to yourself over there?
You're right. I think that I was just talking about this with with my friend Steph, but like I feel like we dim our own light to make others feel better sometimes, or to make yourself feel smaller so that you don't. I don't know why I said that.
But you're not in that room right
I know.
now. You don't have to dim your light in this room.
I don't know why I said that. I think I say that because I'm like, I can't wait to get married, but I can't wait to become a mom. Mm-hmm. And as a mom, as a stylist, those are 18-hour days, like 4 days in a row. Like, I can't miss those moments for my kid.
But are you doing what we talked about, though? When you were in my office?
What, waking up earlier?
Well, no. If you're ever going to free yourself from exactly that.
Concentrate on one thing.
Is you have to mentor someone.
Yeah.
Like someone that you can literally be your person, that can carry your legacy.
It's literally the question I keep wanting to ask you, because it's like, it goes back to employees. How do you find people that A, care to work hard enough, B, want to mimic you and stay with you and not take away from you?
Right.
It's very difficult. So now I have no team. I have just one girl that works for me.
Of course it's hard. But the last thing you said can't even cross your mind, because I've had people that I've mentored for 3, 4, sometimes 10 years and shit on me.
That's right.
Okay.
And I've had it so many times. But here's the thing.
Yeah. I would still do it all over again.
Really?
Because it's not about them. It's about you. And that's who we are. Mm-hmm. What they do with our mentorship, that's their
problem.
Now, don't get me wrong.
But it's a heartbreak.
No, of course it is.
It's
like
one
guy, I literally cried like someone died in the shower for like
it's grief. You're grieving
8
them.
days. Yeah. And I literally was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like what is going on? But like, like that. And it's a dude. And it's like, what are you doing? But I gave my soul to that guy, like laid out the blueprint, then another guy. So I could go down the list. But I think recently I've finally been like, so what? I would do it again. I would do it again. That's on them. That's not on me. That's not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of them. 1,000% that's on them. So you have to do it anyways. Yeah. And because it's you. And it's what you want to do. Yeah. And then the person that is truly gonna carry on your legacy and gonna they'll rise to the occasion.
I love that.
Like they'll show up in your life. And they'll probably be someone you had no idea. Like, probably someone that you doubted. Probably someone you're like, oh my God, this person's so terrible. And then all of a sudden they surprise you. And then all of a sudden they're doing things that you didn't ask them to do. And all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Like, those are the people that I love. Like, when you're like, I'll get it every, I listened to your podcast the other day. And you're like, oh, you did? Like, oh, you're watching? And it's like, oh, so cool. Good.
Yeah. You know why you're that way? Because you're not attached to what you do. You're attached to who you are. Ooh. That's why you think that way, because you're so many things. I feel like I was the same, where if someone's like, what do you do? Tell me about yourself. I'm like, where do I even start? What should I tell you?
Correct.
What industry does this fit in with them, and for you, you're also so great at so many things. Oh, I just love her. You're so great at so many things that even if you're like, yes, like being a wife and a mom is still so amazing, you can still create your pockets of time for everything that you want to do. And you're going to find the natural pace and way of life for you in that process.
It goes back
and we're humble, I will admit, because we really are. We could be like, we were just not those people. We could have really big heads, huge egos, being like, we work with celebrities and everybody else. Like, no, everybody's human to us, know?
Absolutely.
And
that's so true.
Yeah, so I'm just like, you also, this is the year of stepping into your power. Because what I want to bring up is we're still in this 2024 energy until March 21st in a couple weeks. Mm-hmm. And 2024, when you add it up in numerology, are single digits. So it's 2 + 0 + 2 + 4 = 8. And that's the year of growth, of infinite possibilities. When you put 8 to the side, it means infinity. How do you get to being limitless? How do you get to infinite possibilities? You need to grow. And so sometimes that's really uncomfortable. Sometimes it'll take you to rock bottom and all the way to the top and back and in between. Cycles of friendships, relationships, opportunities will come in and out of your life. You have to take note. Does this serve me? Does this not serve me? That was like my whole year too. And it's also the year of karma. So all this stuff that's coming out in the world and in life is being cleaned up so that we enter 2025. The astrological year starts the first day of Aries season, March 21st, spring equinox. So it's all about new seeds planting for a bloom. And 2025 year, which adds up to 9, is about ending cycles, patterns, limiting beliefs, old narratives, people in your life, what serves you, what doesn't, what needs to stop and needs to go.
I love
and
that.
it wants you to reflect the past 9 years of your life thinking, where was I then? Did I create these habits then? Did I create those limiting beliefs or doubts or fears then? What am I carrying now? What has changed? And it wants you to say goodbye to everything that has transpired in your life, to find peace with it, accept people, places, things as they are, situations as they are. And even when we think about growth and the next step of things, it's also finding people in life that love what you're doing equally as much as they do. Like, I ask my team, what are your goals individually, especially when
I do that all the time.
Yeah,
too.
when someone new comes, and now everybody who starts, we make them read The Alchemist, because the biggest thing from that book for us is that everything's already written. They say maktub. So I say, if this day is already written, we were all meant to already be here. We have to show up to the highest frequency of our highest self in order to attract the opportunity, situation, or energy that you ultimately want. But no matter what happens in life, it's already written. It was meant to happen that way. How do you want to show up to that conversation? How do you want to show up to that situation in life? And I realized that with my team that's here, and I'm, again, so grateful for them. I'm like, what is your end goal? You know, even if they're young, but I'm like, what would make you so happy this year, at the end of this year? Like, my studio manager now, last January, I met him. We opened with a songwriting camp, which is like a 3-day camp working on music and albums. And so I had someone else who helped me open the studio, and he's a magnificent producer and DJ and a great mix and mastering engineer. But he's not really, the studio manager isn't really his goal. So once we realized that, I'm like, okay, maybe, you know, amicably, we're not the best fit here together, but go on your journey and be the best producer of all time, which he's doing. And I remember that day when I met my studio manager now, I was like, wow, he'd be perfect for this role. So months later, last January, I said to him, I was like, listen, like, I'd love for you to be here full time. What are your goals? What do you want to do? How can I help you get there? And everything that we've manifested over this past year has come true. And our team is hella strong, hella abundant, and they're like my little family, you know, and they feel the same, but it's because they want to be there and they love making music and they see opportunity and they're hungry for it. And not saying that each of them haven't gone through their trials and tribulations of being human, things happening with their family, moving, creating music, you know, being in a session for 15 hours or more, you know, and they're happy to do it because that's what they signed up for. That's what they want. So it's also just welcoming the people where I'm not even thinking of what type of person is going to be coming next. I'm asking the universe, I need this type of specific person. Can you send them to me? And they will always show up. That's how I create my teams, or that's how I create opportunities, knowing like we both need personal assistants. Maybe you have one. I really need one, and I can still delegate off of my studio manager as much as possible.
You don't have a personal assistant.
Do you not have one? Yeah,
so
because you can't.
No, but I'm going
you?
to tell you, it actually,
Dan Martell will shoot me right now.
I like that you don't, because you're still in control of the things that you can be.
And I'll always be in control, even if I had
Same.
Really,
I know.
But I think
There's no
I
way I'm
lost
gonna give
that
up
when
that.
I had one. Yeah. I lost the control. Like, I would stop doing my to-do lists. And now I thrive from those to-do lists.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's an important thing to still keep a hand on. I think so. So I kind of like that you don't. I'm sure you definitely need one, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But,
Yeah.
you know.
Not
But
easy
to go back, like, to what Brittany was saying, and then what you were saying, and then kind of morphing it. Yeah. When you say things like, I want to be a mom and I want to have kids and stuff, like, you're still going to, like, it doesn't, that doesn't.
It evolves.
Like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So,
Yeah.
to give an example, like, on my journey, I never, even though, yes, I wanted to be married, I wanted to have kids, I never thought that would affect what I'm building ever in a bad way. Certainly not in a bad way.
Yeah.
And it's done exactly what I thought it would do. It's only enhanced my drive.
Right, supported it.
And supported my
even my
everything.
mom. My mom says that all the time.
So,
She's like, I had 4 kids. I used to take you guys in a basket to work. She's
exactly.
like, no reason. Yeah.
I just feel like, and again, not like coming at you or
No.
anything, but like, you gotta give yourself more credit.
Yeah.
You know, you're a badass.
Collage.
Like, you know that.
I appreciate
You know what I mean? And just
I do feel that. I do feel that.
But you gotta live it, and you
You're
gotta
right.
not worry about what's to come.
And talking nicely to my, like you said.
Yeah, it's the things we tell ourselves.
You're
but
right.
you can't be in that space of like, well, what if when I'm married and I have 2
Yeah.
kids, and like, who cares? Like,
You're right.
it'll work itself out.
You're right.
Totally.
And actually, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. So whatever you want, like Brittany said, you need to think about the perfect scenario, and it's gonna be rocky. But then eventually you'll get there. Yeah.
If not this, something better.
Exactly.
Always. That's why I'm like, let them go. Something better's coming. Like, don't sweat it. We're so attached. I think I said earlier, we're so attached to people and things sometimes. And of course, we're human. But when you think about, you know, the general mission and how God has, you know, their hands in everything. Like, I read a quote, I think a couple weeks ago, that said, God opens every door for you and walks with you hand in hand through it. So I'm like, I'm surrounded by the most angels, my spirit guides, God, the universe, all of it, for every door that opens and walking through it. And even if I'm like, oh, I got the yes to something that I manifested 2 years ago, and then realizing it's actually not the right fit, instead of me freaking out and being anxious about it, I'm like, let it go. Like, I'm not even
that's why
harping on it.
I listened to Mel Robbins' Let Them Theory. Have you heard of this?
What is it?
The Let Them Theory. So literally, like, let them. Like what you said before. You're not in control of the people around you. So you just let them. You let it be, you know?
Yeah.
It's such a powerful thing. But, like, you can take that on into so many
how I've said it is that, like, there's no reason in the world that if I don't have physical control over something to worry about it.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like, if I can't physically change something, then why am I worried about it?
Yeah.
You know?
Even learning boundaries,
you
too.
do have a lot of peace, though, with all that.
Well, again, I mean, I think the question is, you know...
It's broad.
It's mental peace versus true peace. Like, I'm definitely not, like, you know, a crazy person or anything, but... A little bit, maybe. But.
We all are a little tingly.
a little.
But you know what? I would love for you to start doing in the mornings, just to try it. Even if it's like the next 10 days when you wake up, just like I said to you, I have a mantra that I say, and I always just put my hands on my heart because I just do that. I invite supporting, loving, protective energy into my life. And I even said to her, I choose peace every single day. That is my biggest affirmation because that's all I want. If I have a peaceful mind and a peaceful energy around me when I start in the morning or even before bed, please let me have peaceful dreams. Please let this be my intention to wake up fully rested and energized no matter how much sleep that I got, no matter what's on my plate tomorrow. And I feel like for you, if you're like, I invite supportive energy into my life and I choose peace and I invite more peace into my life just to see what happens. Because you're going to see things start rolling out. Remember, universe, God is in charge.
People like us don't know that, though.
Well, what I was going to say, why is it that when you're saying that, in your opinion, my things that are going in my head is like I thrive on chaos.
I was just gonna say that.
And like you,
because that's what you're used to.
Is like
it makes
literally
me slower.
stirring me up.
Yeah.
But I like to freak.
You want to know why?
I see that. I do see. I think, but there's people like that.
And it's not that I don't like. I think maybe it's because we associate peace with, like, you know,
zenning out,
floating.
Like this, and that's not who I am.
Correct, you know what I mean? Correct.
So maybe it's just that.
But I'm also not kumbaya.
Painting the picture of you, definitely not kumbaya.
You know what I mean? So that's
you're
what I'm saying.
So
Leo, baby. You can be both. So that's why I'm like,
Yeah.
say the intention. It doesn't mean that automatically you're going to be like,
It's funny that you said that, though. So there's this fighter that I really like, Israel Adesanya.
Okay.
And he does a lot of manifesting and meditating. And he has this thing that he tells himself in the mirror. And it's funny because after he did this documentary, and I said to myself, I'm going to start doing that. And I literally would look in the mirror and just start dying out laughing like, I can't do this shit like that. So I will try it. I'll try it. But
just try it.
To try.
You got to try my I Am affirmation song.
You say it and hearing me talk to myself like, ain't no way I'm doing this. You know?
I feel the same.
It's just like
when it might be your new piece.
Exactly.
Sometimes you have to lean in.
But again, it goes back to everything we preach about in terms of you got to get comfortable getting uncomfortable.
Yes.
So sometimes the exact thing that makes you so uncomfortable is
exactly
what eventually will make you comfortable.
I have the best thing for you. In the mornings,
I was about to say,
when we drink our water in the mornings, water holds the strongest vibrational frequency, highest vibrational frequency. And so I talk to my water every morning.
Okay.
And
there's studies on this too.
Yes, I do. And and when you freeze it,
on if you talk to your water before you drink it, then it'll like
give you powers.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me you know this, girl.
I do not know this.
And it goes back to I've always been, regardless if you're Christian, Jewish, whatever you believe in, there is power in words. That's a fact. Like that's a fact.
For sure.
And I know that for a fact because I've been doing it for
so
years.
long, yeah.
Of believing
I gotta
in the power
do better.
of words.
I gotta
the things
do
you
better.
tell yourself and the thing. And so if you're speaking life into yourself
Grab your water.
and you're speaking life into the things you're consuming, then, you know, do you need another one?
No.
Okay.
So we're going to do this together.
Okay.
I invite more peace into my life.
I invite more peace into my life.
And prosperity and abundance.
And prosperity and abundance.
Amen.
Amen. No
Anyway,
days off.
No days off, but there's your
No
peace.
days off.
You
Yeah.
add it to your water. You're drinking all day.
Delicious.
You know?
What brand is
so
what brand is that jacket?
This is Ghani.
Ghani.
Really cool jacket. I actually put it on my
It's
client.
giving me Janet Jackson vibes.
Is it?
It's
We
hot.
love Janet Jackson.
Love Janet.
We love her.
It's kind of crazy. I'm looking at your place right now, and I'm just like, wow.
Did I describe this place when you were in my office? I did, right? I thought I did.
You did, yes, but in my head I was like, it's a big warehouse. Like I have no idea what that would look like.
I
you
remember
know?
seeing your
And
blueprints.
now, you
Fire.
see it, and you're like, what? You
Well,
really
one
had a
thing I
vision.
want, so we have to manifest this.
Okay.
Because I've been asking y'all forever about
Mm-hmm.
this, and Brittany, I can show you text. I want live music in my spot. Okay.
I love that.
We did comedy night already.
How
How
was
was
it?
that?
And we crushed it.
Oh,
it was
love that.
amazing.
I
It
love
was
that.
hilarious.
Yeah.
I
Tons
want to
of
know
people
about these
came,
events.
And I sent you an invite.
You did.
I did.
I did not get one.
Maybe. No, I didn't.
It is
All
okay.
Well, I mean, it's on Instagram. Maybe that's what I
okay,
thought.
okay.
Sorry. But that being said, the first one I want to do is very acoustic, like
We should do bossa nova.
drums,
do you know bossa nova?
like very eclectic kind of vibe. And so we'll do it on the mezzanine. But what I want is it very, very exclusive.
Love that.
50 people max. 50 people of our choosing, and like a Friday happy hour situation, right around 8:00 at night.
It's
We could do dinner
Shabbat
after,
dinner.
you know what I mean?
Oh,
We're
yeah.
gonna have to break some bread after.
Or we could do Saturday or Sunday either, so it doesn't matter.
Tell me something beautiful.
Something beautiful.
Wait, it's Shabbat today,
It is.
All right,
okay.
I got something beautiful.
and I want to hear it.
All right, so she'll be here soon.
Who?
My daughter.
Stop it now!
What time?
She's coming at 4, so 'cause my wife has to run some errands, so she's bringing her to me. But you talk about the most joyful creature on the planet.
Yes, and here. That's
And
right.
she's been, so it was really interesting. I was talking to this stranger, and we were talking about kids and stuff, and she said, wait until she gets older. She's gonna, like, when you walk in the room, she's gonna light up. And I was like, she did that the day she was born.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like,
When's her birthday?
her birthday is, oh my God, this is terrible.
Is it August?
May 24th.
May
Oh my
24th.
God, she's a May
Yeah.
like me. She's a Gemini.
And you're getting married the next day.
May 24, 24.
Oh my God! Wow.
And then my son's February 7th.
My wedding's 05,
That's why I had to
25,
like
25.
stop, because when you have 2 kids, you gotta be like, which one?
Yeah.
But
I love that.
she has been smiling and laughing since the day she was born. Like, it's
That's
amazing.
so beautiful. What's her
Yeah.
name?
Sage Phoenix.
Sage Phoenix.
And then you have
My
7.
wife named her.
And then you have
Superstar.
all her,
7, right?
All her. And then 7.
I love that
7
name.
Manning, so,
my
yeah.
my brother.
7 and Sage.
I love that. My brother's son's best friend is 7 in North Carolina.
But the reason why you said say something beautiful, like for me,
yeah.
you talk about drive, and you talk about, like, my son, of course, I mean, the best,
Yeah.
but like having a daughter, and like it's indescribable, the things you tell yourself, and the thing,
Yes.
like the motivation to give her
Everything.
the world,
That is your.
Well, I just want to touch on this because it's interesting to me, and I wanted to hear y'all's take on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm married. You're getting married. Single?
Yeah, I'm independent. baby.
Independent. Single.
Independent.
But one thing that I find fascinating is when opposite sex have like these awesome connections that are not sexual, you know? Like,
Totally.
I love
that
that.
are just authentic
Yeah.
love.
It can exist, right?
And that's
Of course
what I'm
it
trying
can.
to say. But
Some
that's why I
people
feel
say it
like
can't.
we live in this world that says that cannot exist.
I don't agree with
And
that
I think
at
it's
all.
BS.
Same.
I
I
have
just
some
think
of
it's
my
BS.
best friends in the world are
Same.
my guy friends that are married,
Yep.
great relationships, and nothing to do with anything.
And I'm not saying that men are not perverts and all that. Like, I get all that. But at the same time, it does really exist. Where
Absolutely.
you connect with an opposite sex
Yeah.
in a way that is just friendship, just
100%.
cool ass, like you're a cool chick, you know?
Are
Like,
you okay with
and
your wife having a male friend?
that's where it's weird.
Oh.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's an honest, but that's
Can I
me
be honest
being
too? Like me thinking of Adam like being friends with a girl, I'm like, hell fuck no.
But here's the thing. But this is the reason why I say that. Is because I'm a man, and I think that I know what men think.
Correct.
You know? So, and it's different. I don't know.
I think when you're in business, it's different. Like us, right? When you're a business person and we know what we're here for. You know what I mean? We could feed off each other. I don't think we need to think sexually at all. You understand what I'm saying?
It's also not something like I'm gonna be like, oh, y'all want to do dinner tonight? Like,
Yeah.
It's not that. I mean, not that we couldn't do
Yeah,
dinner,
but I don't-
But it's like that's not really
Correct.
the relationship.
But see, I wouldn't do dinner with you without your
Brittany's
wife.
got something over there. I can.
I
feel it.
just like very different opinion. For me, I'm always friends with people first, even if they become like
Yeah.
my lover or
Yeah.
more than that. And I also grew up all around guys. So did you.
too.
So
Yeah.
it feels very natural to me to have a lot of male friends. Like I don't even think about it. I don't see the difference. Like even if I'm like, oh, like this guy's attractive, I'm not going to be like, oh, I wish and wonder. I'm like, nah. Like for me, it's energy, energy, energy all the time. But we also have like karmic ties and soulmates to people. Like we're all soulmates, even if it's just friendship, you know? And we have to remember that there's so many people that come into our life that maybe you're meant to be more with. But I think if there's like an emotional maturity, intelligence, and understanding of your role, your partner, that relationship, the confidence and trust in that, and then allowing yourself to have friends. If like a man came to me and was like, no more guy friends, I'd be like, no more you.
Yeah, that's
you know,
weird.
because
Yeah,
people
yeah.
are my life. Like my life is full of people
Totally.
and relationships, and that's for speaking for all
And
of
it's
us.
also being in a relationship with someone who trusts you. Like there should never be that.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, future partner wise, if they were going to have female friends, it kind of makes me feel better to meet them and know what kind of people that they're choosing in their life in terms of friendship. If I'm like, these people don't serve you and aren't the right fit, then what am I doing with this
Right,
person,
right.
you know? And just being like really observant and aware of all of that.
Mic drop, Brittany with the.
Always.
I'm always looking at the other perspective.
I will
All right,
say
so
though,
give me
I
the-
feel
no,
like
I love it. Yeah,
I
it
feel
was a
like
great
I know you
perspective.
in a different way now. No, in a better way. In a way, you're like so like. I feel you're like inner child a little bit. I do. Like I see it in you. Like every time I see you, it's a little more. You know. Which is
Well, we haven't
beautiful.
hung out that much.
No,
so,
we haven't. But I'm like you're
I think we've
lighter.
only had a couple of sit downs.
Yeah, I feel like 3
I
times.
do
The
feel.
other time.
I do feel lighter. You know, like.
I feel
I
it
think
from
the
you.
more. Well, first of all, this space makes me.
Oh,
Yes.
totally.
I
feel
thrive
it.
in this space.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
This was.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I started designing this in 2017.
It's crazy.
And then it took me 3 years from the day they handed us the space to the day we opened.
make
It
it
took me
happen.
3
That's
years.
insane.
And every single thing in here was me. So it's like
Even the windows.
everything.
Yeah.
That's
Everything.
the windows were not in.
They were
there.
not
No, they
here.
were not
For sure.
there.
They were not here.
And they're gorgeous
Yeah.
windows. Like I look at all of
So
these
like
stuff.
when you're in a space that you created for you,
Totally.
like it's just vibey. Like
Yeah.
you like I got to the point where I actually like had to kind of apologize because like I feel so comfortable in here. Like sometimes I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go home. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. On the same.
because I have speakers
I
in
love
here and I
that.
can listen to my
I
music.
love that.
And,
I love that.
and I am
I don't
like
feel
my
that
wife
in
and
my
I
space.
both are.
I'm like I want to go home. Oh my god, I can't wait to go home.
Oh no. See, I could stay here all day.
Really?
We need
No.
to cleanse your space, actually.
And my wife and I are
Okay.
very like we can be alone. Like
Love that.
we're not like needy people.
Yeah.
I
you
love
know?
being alone.
I'm the
So,
same way.
We love being alone.
I love my
Love
alone time.
It's like,
I need that.
you know.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it's funny because like my space looks like a home. There's like so many
Yes.
couches and chairs because
Oh, I love it.
I get in and I immediately take off my shoes and I'm like slipping and sliding everywhere and I'm just like,
Oh,
here I
love
am in my
I
sweats.
actually I think I just love my home.
Yeah, you're home.
There's just something about my home.
Yeah.
And I just create that space.
Well, let me ask you this: it's your home, right?
Yes.
See, I don't have my home yet. I'm still renting.
Oh no, it's renting. No,
Oh, yeah?
I'm renting. But it's
How she
But
makes
it's
it a home.
still, but maybe
It
it's like
feels home,
Well, that's
yeah.
fine. But I don't have that yet.
Yeah.
Like I haven't been it because I'm. My wife always says we're gonna have to build a house because that's just.
Oh,
what
of
I
course.
do.
I love that.
So she's like, you're not gonna like anybody else's
Yeah.
stuff.
Manifesting this year.
exactly. Yeah.
I gotta meet your wife too.
Oh, she's amazing.
We
She'll
need a
be here
dinner.
at 10,
We need a dinner.
All right, what do y'all want to leave the audience with? This was y'all were great as always.
We love you so
So-
much.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
always
you
for
for-
having
Honestly,
us.
Yeah,
Of
what I
course.
want to leave with
Duh.
is I just feel really grateful to have met you and like been able to come back and do this with you and for giving us the space and the platform to be who we are.
Same. And the reason why I said that last thing is because I was thinking about it as y'all were talking. I'm like, these are just some cool ass chicks. Like
that's how I feel.
You know what I mean? Like the first time we did, I was like, what a dope freaking girl, you know? And I could say it with a very like
it's my homie.
Like just normal, you know what I mean?
Same.
Whereas
I love
everyone
that.
has to say, you know, oh, you think she's hot? You know, just stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
Like,
See,
no,
I
she's
feel like
just
I've known
cool.
you forever. That's how I feel.
Like,
but that's because we're emotionally
you know?
mature. So when people are making those types of remarks, it's because they are not emotionally mature.
And I feel we're real with each other too.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of realness. Like real recognizes real.
Yeah.
And that's what this is.
And maybe there's not a lot of that, which is why, you know, some people aren't
Miami.
Well, Miami is a very
But I feel like I have great people in my life. Like
Me
all
too.
those, I don't know them.
Me too.
Well, people always say like when people hate on Miami, I'm like, you just have to find your tribe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I mean,
fair.
yes, Miami can chew you up and spit you out if you have your own
100%.
tribe.
For sure.
So, all right, let's
For
get her
sure.
out of here. We're good.
Let's go.
Thank
you. Oh, so good.